Hey, True Believers, Englentine here. So I'm going to be talking about the Captain Marvel reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, as everybody else has. I've seen the videos. I haven't watched them yet because I don't want them to influence what I have to say here. I have seen the titles, though. It's very clickbaity. They hate Captain Marvel. And I'm thinking, well, I've read the reviews. They don't exactly hate it. So I'm wondering, how am I going to clickbait this myself without resorting to that right there? I don't like to lie. Clickbait is okay, but outright lying is, I don't like that. So anyway, what you're seeing here is unedited footage of the Mardi Gras parade at Universal Studios Florida that I was going to do for my Mad About the Mouse, soon to be called the Homegrown Tourist channel. So I have no idea what... Except, well, I've seen the parade, but yeah, that's what's going on. I'm just being lazy. I don't want to take each review, and I can't use OBS without my computer shutting down. So, hey, not a good thing there. Anyway, let's get to some of these reviews here. What I did was I went through, basically, I found the top critics of Rotten Tomatoes, and if it said top critic, okay, I'll check it out. I tried to get a good amount of bad and good reviews. Some of these people I actually respect as critics. This first one was from Richard Roeper, who gave it a fresh rating. He says that, Lashana Lynch gives a quietly powerful performance as Maria Rambeau. I've heard this. I haven't seen the movie, and you're going to get my review probably Friday. Definitely on Extreme Movie Show, which is another channel we just started. Link will be in the description below. So go subscribe to that as well. Let's see. So yeah, that's what he's saying. He's saying it was good, although it's not the best. I'm hearing that a lot. As a matter of fact, they say, "Oh well, I liked it. It was good, but it wasn't the greatest of the Marvel movies." Yeah, that's the way I feel about Thor Dark World. I don't hate Thor Dark World. I don't hate Iron Man 2, but Iron Man 2 is the worst of the Marvel movies. There is a worst. Doesn't mean it's horrible, but let's be honest. Let's see. Also, Roeper says Larson and Jackson have terrific buddy movie chemistry, whether they're giving each other grief or covering each other's behinds. And then he really goes off on the de-aging, says it looks great and it's really good. But yeah, actually, one thing I do have to note about the Richard Roeper thing is there's no negativity here. There's no, well, that was the good thing. Let me talk about what doesn't work. So, and I've heard him do this so many times when he was with Roger Ebert. So I'm a little skeptical here. Yeah. I'm not exactly 100% on his review because this just doesn't seem like a full review from him. Next up is the Washington Post. Ann Hornaday is the critic, and this is a weird one because she gives it a positive. She gives it a fresh grade, and really, she spends most of the time, it seems reluctant is what I'm saying, I guess, because she says stuff like, well, the first 30 minutes is a bit of a slog. The fact that it really picks up when she gets to Earth. The independent directors that were brought on, and Kevin Feige said, hey, it's going to be an emotional roller coaster, that kind of thing. She even says they handle the emotional sections very well, while, once again, the action and the special effects seem to be muddy and not done as well. So it really does seem like, oh, well, I'm supposed to give it a good review because it's a woman, but she's not really confident giving that good review. At the end, she says, as shaky and unfocused as Captain Marvel often seems, it manages to reach its destination with confidence. In the end, Larson sticks the landing, albeit with something more muted than an absolute triumph. The final takeaway is clear. Mission accomplished, more movies ahead. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the opposite of what was happening with Batman vs. Superman. If you ever read the Batman vs. Superman, and mind you, that ended up getting trounced at Rotten Tomatoes, it was a failure, but all of the reviews were kind of like, it's got problems. it has real big problems. The problems are amazingly huge, but you know what? There's an element of interest here. There's an element of fun. We really like to watch this part. This was pretty cool. So a lot of them were reluctant bad. These seem to be the same tone of reviews, but instead of saying I'm reluctantly giving it a bad review, they're saying I'm reluctantly giving it a good review. So I guess, hey, it's weighted and it's reluctant. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Otherwise, it just, other than it just seems like BS. Oh, just a little side note. In order to do this the way I'm doing it right here, I'm actually reading the review right before I talk about it. And I just got to New York Times. And I started reading it. Now the headline is like, Brie Larson takes a trip to the 90s. And that's about as insightful as this review gets. I'm not even going to bother with it, guys, because this has all the earmarks of somebody who wrote a book report by looking at the cover. Seriously, there is nothing deep in this at all. Oh, the Marvel Universe is ever expanding. Oh, wow, you just can't stop this juggernaut. Everything he says, you don't need to watch the movie to get. So, good job, New York Times, for giving it a positive review off of the movie poster. Us Weekly. Oops, I forgot to check the reviewer's name, so I apologize to her or him on this one. Basically, they gave it a splat or a rotten or whatever you want to call it. Let me scroll up here. I'm actually, like I said, I'm looking at them as we go. So this is like, I've learned about it just a little bit before you guys do while I'm reading it here. Marvel is clearly aiming for a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe. Results are mixed. An Arnold Schwarzenegger sight gag, a flannel wardrobe, and clunky computer bits provide effective big laughs. Calling Earth a shithole and a joke in which Fury pulls over a sheet so he could take it at aliens' private parts are meh. A whopping 6 writers are credited with Captain Marvel, and that's the best they can do. Yeah, Us Magazine did not like this movie. And let's see, it would have been nice had one of these writers told Larson about the comedy shifts, the talented Oscar winner. I still say For the Room, that boy deserved the Oscar nomination, not her. Watch that movie. It's actually a pretty good film, but it's the boy that carries that movie, not Brie Larson here. They say she killed it in 21 Jump Street. Who did she play? I watched that movie 4 or 5 times. I don't remember her in it at all. And Amy Schumer Trainwreck, sorry. The guy who won that movie was John Cena. That's the funny one in the film. But he said, the person says she could do comedy without trying to be Robert Downey Jr. And it's Lashana Lynch who really steals the movie from her. And when it comes to badass Marvel women, this reviewer would put their money on Scarlett Johansson any day. Let's see. For now, thank the Norse god for series vet Jackson because he livens up the movie and is a strutting, swearing Marvel history book. One thing I will make a note of, if you guys haven't noticed it yet, but there seems to be a lack of, she's the feminist hero we all need, woohoo, go feminism. There's none of that, or there's not, hey, that's way too much freaking feminism in this one, and it dragged it down, and I hate it because of that. So I'm very glad not to hear that. That being said, the next review I've still got a few, so let's check it out. Holy crap. I just switched on to Time, and literally, I haven't read this. I just read this first thing. First of all, their title is Brie Larson makes a fine Captain Marvel, but what does it accomplish? And then the first line is anyone else getting tired of role models? I don't mean real-life people who are doing esteemable work every day like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, although even her recent commodification through no fault of her own threatens to flatten some of her dimensions. I don't get that. I mean, she's done a good job for what she is. But virtuous fictional women who are put up as jaunty reminder that girls can do anything, and like all children, young girls can have a moment of self-doubt, times when they need reassurance, and there's no reason we shouldn't be seeing women superheroes on screen. Lord knows there are enough guys, but the delivery system matters too. And while we know that little girls, or boys for that matter, might not rush out to see an earnest biopic of, say, Harriet Tubman, Eleanor Roosevelt, or Margaret Sanger, really? That's the example you're going to go with? The one who said, let's say, oh my gosh. Her whole thing was she wanted to exterminate black people. Good job, Time Magazine. Does our sense of the power and capability of women always have to be filtered through a highly fictionalized superhero universe, as if that were the only way we could possibly bring ourselves to register the value of what a woman can bring to the table? You know what? No more comment. Let's move on. Oh, there is a bit later, I just got to it, where he's talking about the fact that trolls went to Rotten Tomatoes and reviewed the film before seeing it, so Rotten Tomatoes had to take down the option to review a movie before they've seen it, and then at the end has the balls to say, but if you've made it this far in the review, welcome to the world of actual reading. Wow, boy, this guy has no self-awareness, does he? Dumbass. All the respect I gained from the first paragraph was just destroyed by the other one, because anybody who was actually reading would have known that it wasn't freaking reviews, but it was comments on the I don't see it. God dang it, what a dumbass. So yeah, you know what? I'm just going to stop this review right here. So the narrative of this video has changed because I just saw a tweet about a guy from the playlist. He gave Captain Marvel a good review because he wanted to be on the right side of history. There's no historical context for this movie beyond first female Marvel movie. She's not even the first female in Marvel movies, dumbasses. But anyway, he says that he doesn't want to be on the wrong side of the history. But if you are lying to the people who come to you for your opinion, then you are disrespecting your audience, and therefore you are on the wrong side of history. I understand when you do a YouTube channel, confirmation bias. You know, nobody goes to sunworshippers.com unless A, they worship the sun, or B, they're going to make fun of people who worship the sun. So a lot of people come here because, you know, my opinions mirror their own in some way, shape, or form, or they disagree, but they like the way in which I disagree. I've got both, and it's a lot of fun. But I promise you this, I will always give the opinion that I have. I'm not going to say, well, you know, everybody's expecting me to rip into this, so I'm going to rip into it. No. Oh, well, this is generally a loved title, and this is generally a loved creator, so I'm gonna say good things about. No. If it's good, I'm gonna give it a good review. If it's bad, I'm gonna give it a bad review. And if you disagree, by all means, blast me in the comment section. Just make it funny or intelligent, because you suck doesn't do anything. You cannot insult me. So if you try, be funny. That's just the way it is. Trolls don't affect me unless they're funny at it. And then I like it because you're clever and you made me laugh. But if you think you're going to hurt my feelings, sorry, you're not my wife, you're not my daughters. It ain't happening. That's just the way it is. So, yeah, I know I was going to talk about all of the reviews, but once I found that out, it also really pisses me off because it brings into question all of the positive reviews. You know, there might be some people who legitimately enjoyed this film and wanted to say this, but now doesn't it kind of color it a little bit? Now there's an agenda behind the reviews, which we understood there would be because we've seen this before with the Ghostbusters, you know, or Alita Battle Angel. And it's fucking disgusting. Sorry, but it is. It really is, because it belittles it. This movie could have had some serious good parts to it. It could have had things that you want to look at and go, you know what? That is why you come to the movies. Maybe the rest of it was bad, but this right here. But no, that doesn't matter because people like this. People like this just make it so it doesn't matter. I mentioned Rob and I were starting a movie channel, the Extreme Movie Show. We've done it here a couple of times on Sundays. And it's kind of funny because I talked to him and I mentioned how it's amazing, you know, because you start up and all of a sudden you realize people are listening. And it's really cool, but you have to respect that, man. I mean, it's your time. It's your time that you said, you know what, okay, I find this interesting. I want to listen to it. And you have to respect that, and this guy didn't. So I'm sorry if I sound like I'm finding this offensive, but I am. It's offensive to me that somebody would fuck over their audience. You know, I'm so freaking grateful to have an audience that it really does. It just, why would you do that? Why the hell would you do that? Anyway, you know what? I'm spinning wheels at this point. Seriously. I'm going to cut it out because I know I'm like, what, at the 13, 14-minute mark already. So I doubt a lot of people are making it to this point. Anyway, usually people can only, the average viewer, as YouTube tells me, can only stand my voice for about 5-7 minutes. Unless it's a live stream and then 5 hours. Go figure. I don't know how that works. Anyway, there you go, gang. What do you think about this big-ass mess of reviews and such? I don't know. Once again, I'm going to see it on Friday, so I'll have my review out then. But let me know what you think about all of this. Let me know what you think about the guy deciding he's going to lie to his viewers and to his readers because he wants to support the agenda. And, yeah, go on ahead and put that down in the comments. Of course, if you're new here and you haven't done it already, click like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Cool things happen. Some really good things sometimes. As a matter of fact, they should be popping up around here in little boxes saying, hey, click on this video next. Please do that. Don't forget to go on over to Patreon, Ko-Fi, and help out the channel. Lord knows I need it today. And I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.